Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look of the 361 degrees DVD2 SE, and this is the toy colorway. And as you guys all know, the regular DVD2 is a really nice performer, a very good shoe for guards, and as far as the retail price goes, they're both 125 bucks. So the regular DVD2 is 125 bucks and the SE is 125 bucks. And if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I'll try to leave the link in the description box. And if you do choose to get either of these shoes, it does help me out if you buy the shoes from the affiliate links in the description box or the product picture underneath this video or in the corners of this video. But originally, I wasn't really going to do a video on this on YouTube. You know what I mean? I do usually do like reviews and like short reviews on like, you know, YouTube Shorts or Instagram and TikTok. And so if you guys want to follow me there, I'll try to leave links or my ads to those in the description box as well. But yeah, I got these in. I was like, yo, these are a little bit different. Yeah, as far as the upper goes, it's just, you know, it's a very open, you know, upper for better ventilation for, of course, the summer, because it's really hot and you need a little bit more airflow and need a little bit more ventilation, right? So I was like, okay, that seems a little bit different, but there is one more difference where I was like, yeah, this is a pretty big difference in my personal opinion, where I definitely feel like the SE is a little bit of an upgrade from the regular DVD2, right? But anyways, let's get started off with the tracciones, right? So in this colorway, we have a solid green rubber outsole. And then in this colorway, you know, of the regular DVD2, I had a solid white rubber outsole, right? I already played in this a couple of times, right? And then I did a full performance review of the DVD2, and the traction is really nice. If you're playing on a clean court, you have top tier traction. So you have an amazing bite, you stop pretty much on a dime. And as far as the traction pattern goes, to me, it looks literally identical. You know, nothing's really different about it. It kind of looks like a maze, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of a maze, which looks pretty cool, like a futuristic maze. I'm guessing that's his signature right there. We do have the arch lock as well, which is the midfoot chain plate. You know, it says arch lock right over here. And it exposes the, you know, quick CQ tech foam in the heel and also in the forefoot, which is pretty cool, right? So yeah, amazing traction in the SE as well. It does pick up a little bit of dust, so just be careful with that. It picks it up kind of quickly, but if you do keep up with your wipes, you don't really have to worry about the traction too much, just like in the regular DVD2, right? So that's good. And also, if you're playing on an outdoor court, I mean, 361 says all of their rubber, like their rubber outsoles, are durable, but it doesn't seem super durable to me. You know what I mean? Like when you feel the grooves, these grooves are kind of thin, and the rubber is a little bit on the softer side of things as well. And because of these thinner grooves, I feel like it might rip off a little bit, you know, especially in the highway areas, you know, where the balls of your feet are. So just be careful with that. But you know, amazing traction in the SE, just like in the regular DVD2, right? And then moving on to the heel to toe transition, also very smooth, just like in the regular DVD2. So here in the heel, we have a nice curve shape. Although it is pretty caged in the back of the heel, we still have a little bit of compression and this nice curve shape, which does make the heel overall pretty smooth. And then here in the forefoot, we have a nice curve shape and a good amount of forefoot flex. It's actually really flexible, right? But has a little bit of springiness to it. It's mostly just very soft, you know? I feel like, you know, this plastic piece, you know, this TPU on the side, and you know, it cages the cushion a little bit. That gives it a little bit of rigidity as well. But yeah, overall heel to toe transition is extremely smooth. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup is pretty much the exact same as far as the tech goes, right? So they are using NRGX foam. It says NRGX right here on this colorway of the SE, and the same thing on the original DVD2 as well. So the NRGX foam is kind of like a carrier. It goes around the shoe, you know what I mean? And then for the core of the shoe, we have quick CQ tech foam, which is like right over here as well. It's exposed on the lateral side, on the bottom of the shoe as well. So it actually has a little bit of compression here in the heel, which does feel nice, but it's not super soft or anything. It's not super comfortable, but you just get a little sliver of foam exposed, and that allows the foam to compress a little bit, you know? But the biggest difference, of course, is stepping comfort and underfoot cushion, right? So as far as the insole goes, the insole is pretty much exactly the same as what it's like an Ortholite insole. Nothing amazing. It improves the stepping comfort just a tiny bit, but when you look at the actual stroll board, that is the biggest difference, and I'm super duper happy that they changed this, right? Because that was my biggest disappointment in the regular DVD2, because I do like full length quick CQ tech foam, right? So if you look at the original, the strobe board is actually quite stiff. You know, once you break it in, it gets a little bit softer and it gets kind of comfortable underneath your foot, you know, in the forefoot, midfoot, and heel because it is full length. But it's still pretty stiff, you know what I mean? But just like in the AG4, you know what I mean? I really like that shoe, if you guys didn't know. The AG4 has a soft mesh strobe board, right? But also, if you look at the DVD2 SE version, it has a very nice soft mesh strobe board, and you can feel the quick CQ Tech foam. Like when you press it with your finger, it's extremely soft, you know what I mean? And also, it's full length. You know, so you can see the arch lock, it is bottom loaded. This midfoot shank plate is bottom loaded, not top loaded. So for example, in like the AC12 or even like the Kai 1, those shoes have a very nice soft mesh strobe board, but in the midfoot, there's a top loaded midfoot shank plate, which makes the midfoot a little bit stiffer. Not a huge deal because, you know, usually with your feet, you're more on your heels and your forefoot, but in this shoe, it's pretty much full length. There's also no top loaded midfoot shank plate in the midfoot. So yeah, full length, quick CQ Tech foam right underneath your foot with this soft mesh strobe board. The cushion is freaking nice. So underfoot cushion is amazing, right? You have really good compression. You also have a little bit of bounce as well right underneath your foot. A court feel also is pretty dang good. It's not the best court feel, but I would say it's better than average. And then you have a nice little compression, like I said, and also a tiny bit of bounce from the actual midsole as well, like on the outside, and bounce from underneath your foot too, which makes this cushioning setup amazing, and also impact protection is really nice, right? So I love how they added that soft mesh strobe board. So yeah, that's pretty much the only reason why you should get the SE over the DVD2. Or there is one more reason, which is the upper, right? So in the regular DVD2, it is like this glued down kind of synthetic material, it feels like to me. And it's really supportive though. Like it does not stretch at all, you know what I mean? But it conforms to your foot pretty well once you break it in, you know what I mean? But overall, it is flimsy. It's pretty cheap feeling as well. But in the SE, of course, we have better ventilation, right? So here in the toe box, there's a lot more airflow. You know, it kind of reminds me of weave actually. And then there's an underlaying kind of like mesh material underneath that as well. And then also in the midfoot, we have some panels here as well for way better airflow too, which the DVD2, the regular version, does not have. You know what I mean? So you have better airflow. As far as like durability though, I feel like, you know, the regular DVD2 is going to be a little bit better, of course, but this actually doesn't seem that bad. And this conforms to your foot a little bit better as well, you know what I mean? And it's just as thin, and it doesn't feel as cheap for the SE material, you know? Also, we have a mesh material. Yeah, a very open mesh for the tongue. I mean, it doesn't allow for that much airflow, but it allows for a little bit of airflow right here through this mesh. While the regular DVD2, we have a mesh material as well, but there's not as much airflow through that, you know? And then, of course, we have this midfoot lacing system as well, which is pretty much the exact same. Once you pull the laces, it kind of pulls this strap and tightens these two straps in the midfoot, you know, a little bit more, giving you better overall lockdown, you know? For the tongue, it's pretty much the exact same. You know, the padding is pretty much the exact same. The lining material is pretty nice. It's the same as well. They're also both half booty construction tongues, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then in the ankle area, it's pretty much identical, you know what I mean? You have a little bit of padding on the sides of the shoe, and then a little bit more padding in the back of the shoe, you know, where your Achilles is, but it's not super well padded, you know, but it does have a little bit of cupping, you know, the cupping is pretty nice. One difference in the back of the shoe, however, is that the regular DVD2 has this pull tab and the SE does not. And then I guess we have this circle, you know what I mean? But of course in the SE, we have this kind of like holographic design on it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the overall upper as well is an improvement in my personal opinion. Feels better on foot, better for quality and ventilation, you know? And now moving on to the fit. So the fit is a little bit of a disappointment though for me personally. It does feel a little bit roomier, you know, especially since I played in it only a couple times, like I said, but it did, you know, stretch out even, you know what I mean? So in the regular DVD2, I went true to size, and it's a very nice snug fit in the toe box, although it does run a little bit long. And the same thing for the SE. It runs a little bit long for me going true to size, but You know, like I said, it wasn't a huge issue for me in the regular DVD2, but in the SE, it's a little bit of an issue because it did get a little bit roomier here in the toe box, which I don't like. You know what I mean? I like to have a very snug fit into my hoop shoes. So just be careful with that. Like I said, it does run a little bit long as well. So if you want a really nice snug fit, then go down half a size. But if you want to be a little bit on the safer side of things, go true to size. But again, there's gonna be a little bit of length and a little bit of toe space, you know? And now moving on to the support and lockdown, just like in the regular DVD2, the SE, I had zero issues with, right? So as far as lateral counters go, you can see this plastic piece coming up acting as a sidewall here in the forefoot. It also comes up a good amount here in the midfoot. And then here in the heel, there's an internal TPU heel counter. So lateral containment, I had zero issues. And the overall material is also pretty dang supportive as well. We also have, it's not really an outrigger, but it does protrude out a little bit here in the forefoot with this plastic piece and the midsole. And you're low to the ground here in the forefoot. So lateral stability is good. And also lockdown is really good as well, especially here in the heel. And now moving on to the weight, that's something that I'm curious about, right? So the regular DVD2 wasn't super lightweight, I don't think. Yeah, 12.55 ounces, that's pretty much average weight. But let's check the SE. I feel like it's gonna be the same weight. Oh, 12.2 ounces, it's just, you know, 0.3 ounces lighter, not much. No, 12.05 ounces for the left pair? And then the right pair is like 12.2 ounces. So 0.2 ounce difference. So I guess it is a little bit lighter, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a little bit lighter as well. And just as responsive, but the cushion feels so much better and the upper feels better for quality as well. And aesthetically, I like it, you know what I mean? The regular DVD2 looks nice. This colorway, not a huge fan of, but I really like the Smoothie King colorway that they have, you know? But the SE, I feel like, you know, looks a little bit better just because the upper looks a little bit better to me. Or maybe it's because this shoe is just all one color. Maybe that's what makes it a little bit more simple and clean looking to me. But overall, I do like the silhouette. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah. I mean, okay, so it's not a full performance review because, you know, I already did a full performance review of the DVD2 and then the SE I played a couple times in, you know? But this is a good improvement, you know what I mean? The traction is really nice. I had an amazing time with it because the stops were really good. Also, the cushion is super duper nice. You know, it feels like the AG4 cushion, but a little bit better because it has better core feel, but also still just as soft. Maybe, I mean, like the AG4 is a little bit softer for underfoot cushion, but this is still really nice. And you have a little bit more compression from the actual midsole here. It's like a little exposed for the midsole, while the AG4 is just all cage, you know what I mean? The upper ventilation is great. It's thin, it's supportive. The overall support's great, and overall lockdown's good. I felt really quick when I was playing in this shoe. So yeah, 125 bucks, you get a really nice cushion, especially comparing to the DVD2, but also for the $125 price tag, there's not a whole lot of shoes that are around that price tag with this amazing cushion, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely do not sleep on this shoe. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, this is Spencer Dinwiddie's shoe. I don't think I mentioned that. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, this is a really, really nice shoe. It's super duper underrated, very slept on, and this is definitely a shoe I don't think you guys should sleep on, right? But anyways, that about concludes this video. Again, if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I'll try to leave the free link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.